viewers, you're welcome to this program on gender-based violence, and I'm Ruta, will be your host. Sitting with me here are Kindness Bekwankwi and Ngwanora, members of TOP, that's Theatre of the Oppressed, a group under the organization Rural Women's Center for Education and Development. As actors, they will be telling us various stories on how they felt in acting different roles under gender-based violence and other things like rape, assault, and they will equally tell us how they felt as perpetrators and as victims while on stage, and they will tell us how they felt backstage. Okay, thank you so much for honoring my invitation.
Thank you.
And I will start with you, Kindness. Tell me, what's your take on gender inequality?
Okay, my take on gender inequality is that the very first thing I would like to say is that we all are humans. And because we all are humans, we deserve equal treatment and equal rights. Even though still being human, the man has his role in life to play, while the woman has his role in life to play. But that has not pushed the man to the level of treating the woman or a lady as the inferior being, while the man being the superior being.
Okay, that's very good and powerful. So Nora, have you ever been discriminated as a lady? Or do you know of anyone who has experienced such?
Okay, actually, personally, I've not faced any discrimination as a lady, but I know of someone who was molested because of the fact that she's a lady. That was a fellow student of mine in secondary school.
Okay, all right. Okay, and there is this story we watched and you guys played, and you were actually a perpetrator. You were actually the one who raped this lady. So tell me, how did you feel? How did you actually feel at a personal level?
Well, at a personal level, I fear remorse. I must tell you that I actually fear remorse during that action. But because of the fact that I am an actor and I'm standing against the treatment of ladies,
Okay.
I had to play that role in order to throw some light out there for
Yes.
people who don't know what is actually happening, maybe in the interior, for them to actually know. So that's
Okay.
why I had to play that role, but I felt guilty. I felt
Yes,
guilty. And I can imagine what people actually do, me acting, but
Yeah.
people actually carry the action in real life. If I could feel guilty, then I don't know how that.
No, I believe your message is going to go a long way. So, Nora, you were actually the victim of that rape. So tell me, how did you feel when you were raped?
Honestly, I was scared.
Okay,
I was
that's
scared, reason being that I knew we were acting, but then at one point I felt like this thing is happening real.
okay.
It's happening actually. I'm being raped. Then I put myself in the shoes of those who face this and are raped, and then I understand what they really go through. And I really pray that we come to a point where we learn that we are all equal and stop all this molesting of one another.
Okay, still with regards to rape, you were saying you had this lady who was raped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fellow student of mine in secondary school. She was coming to school one morning and she was raped, and the perpetrator of the act, actually, he was kind of doing a revenge kind of thing because he had some squabbles with the lady's family. So
Okay.
he wanted to use that as a way to revenge on the girl. But I don't know the relationship between you having a problem with my family and maybe treating me for raping me as a way of settling the debt. So I don't understand. But then she was raped, and at one point she even died. So you can imagine the trauma which someone will go through and the pain because of the fact that she's a lady.
That's really terrible.
Terrible.
We thank God for organizations like this,
Actually,
RuWCED,
actually.
which is actually helping people out there who are experiencing things like this.
Yeah.
And Kindness, there was this video, I didn't actually see you on set, but in that video, a friend of yours was actually, who played the role of a father. He never loved his daughter, that was Nora, and his hatred towards her actually led to her death. Being backstage, how did you feel when you saw that?
Okay, at that particular time, I want to think many things were on in my mind. Because when I watch him play that role, though all of us who are playing that role, we're all actors, but because we had to portray something out there for people to know, we had to play that role. He had to play that particular role in order to prove or to show to people out there what is actually happening. But because I was really disturbed, my mind was actually not.
So at the
affairs
personal
with-
level, how would you react to a situation like that? Let's say, for example, you have a wife, but she has a child who's not yours. So how would you react to that situation?
Yeah, the good thing is that thank God I work under an NGO
Yes.
where if I happen to meet someone out there or a guy out there trying to molest a lady, thank God, as I've said, that I work under an NGO where I can actually reach out to her.
Okay. All right. So Nora, you were actually the daughter who was trying to give out love to her father, but he neglected it. How did you feel?
Okay, personally, that was one of the best videos I did. I really loved it because actually I felt really terrible because I saw a daughter doing her best, doing everything she could to make sure that she's in good terms with her father. But the father frustrated everything she did, and to the point at which he had to beat the girl to death. I mean, there are better ways of doing things. If he felt not happy with the child, he would have just explained to the mother that I don't want this girl child of yours that you have, but then he rather did the opposite, which is really not good.
Yeah, and he accepted the mother, so that was really
That's the
terrible.
funny thing of it all.
Okay, so what can you tell youth out there, kindness? What's the advice you can tell youth?
Okay, my only advice that I can tell youth out there is that we see fellow human beings as human beings. What do I mean by that? As a man or as a young man, look at a young lady as the same, having the same blood with you. Because when you look at a lady having the same blood with you and being a human like you, then I don't think there will be any ill treatment.
Okay. What about you, Nora?
Okay, for me, what I want to say is, especially to the young ones and the youth, for example, because I believe even those who maltreat their wives, their children, they started at the point when they were still young. They started treating the ladies around them in a very bad way, molesting them, beating them up because they are ladies and they feel like they're the weaker vessels. But then you need to nurture them, help them if they are the weaker vessels for you. So I'm telling the youths out there, the young ones, that let's start from now. The ladies around us, we need to treat them fairly as we would love to be treated. So that's the advice I can give.
Okay, thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, it is today that we have actually come to the end of our program. And I would like to advise anyone out there who is going through any situation, be it rape or be it violence through anybody, just come to Tarinkon and you will definitely find RuWCED and they will help you on anything you're going through. And thank you so much and may God bless you.